Now, in the time that I've got to make my contribution, I did want to reflect. As I said, these sorts of things just come, announcements are made as an attempt to distract, but I've also learnt that announcements are made without consultation just to completely shift priorities in different industries that support communities. We talk about thriving communities. The communities that I visit, yes, I visit the cities, but I also visit the rural and regional communities, and I see the types of industries that make a difference in those communities. Just last week, there was this really weird thing that happened that when we asked questions further about, we didn't get any clarification on, about the salmon industry. I'm Shadow Minister for Primary Industries and Water, and aquaculture, fishing, agriculture are all parts of that, and I'm really proud to represent those people and to work with the people in these industries. And last week it was weird. There was this sort of correction. There was an update to a really significant policy, which in itself came out of nowhere. So at the end of last year, there was a moratorium announced on the salmon industry. In terms of all our primary industries, the greatest contributor to employment, to jobs, to local communities, really smart and great jobs. And there was this correction made after a response in the Parliament, where in response to a question about finfish industry, the Minister quite rightly made a whole lot of positive comments about the industry and then made a mistake, and she said, while the plan is being developed, there will be no further increases in the leasable area, and I think she meant to say no net increases. Fine. So she sent in Mr Street later in the day to correct that, but the correction, instead of being 3 lines long, was 7 lines long. And then it said, just from nowhere, importantly, one of the principles undermining the development of the plan, which is for 10 years, not a 1-year moratorium, there will be no net increases in total leasable areas. Now, that's a massive shift. I don't know, Mr Ellis is in the chamber right now. I don't know what he thinks about that. I don't know what this government is trying to do in undermining one of the greatest contributors to regional and rural communities in Tasmania. But when we sought to clarify that the very next day, there was silence. The salmon industry is full of great and clever jobs. I've met with people down at Whale Point that work on the net lab. I've worked and met with people in East Devonport in the processing, with divers at Rowella. I've been into the CBD where they've got these incredible feed centres. Tasmania should be proud and should support this industry, and to have just policy decisions thrown out in the middle of question time, seemingly without consideration or on consultation, this industry deserves much better.